According to the state, nearly 7% of Iowa's population identifies as Latino or Hispanic, and that number is projected to double by 2050. The growth is no surprise. The Hispanic and Latinx communities are a fabric of Iowa and long has been. But it wasn't until a few years ago the Iowa Latino Hall of Fame launched to recognize people for their meaningful work.
This is a different type of caffeine, yeah.
Jump-starting her spirit.
You can always just feel at home.
Doesn't take much for Marlu Abarca.
I gave a little plug about Ritual Cafe.
When she's at Ritual Cafe in Des Moines.
My family celebrated the Day of the Dead growing up, so I can always count on there being an altar here during Day of the Dead, and it feels homey that way.
Whether it's conversation.
And as soon as Coco came out, like the Disney movie.
Love that. Or showing pride in her Mexican roots.
This is the first tattoo that he did for me. It says, dormir poco, soñar mucho, sleep little, dream much.
Marlu has a purpose that drives her. Most days can be jam-packed.
Depending on the day of the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I also coordinate an ELL program out of like a local church.
But she sees it as a purpose.
How do we make sure that every Iowan knows how diverse we are as a state, and how do we show youth that it's okay to be proud of where you come from?
See, yes.
Denise Diaz.
I'm a Chicana. I was born here in Iowa. I grew up in West Des Moines, and there's a great history of Latinos in Iowa.
Has owned Ritual Cafe for nearly 20 years. She knows her roots.
My grandfather came over from Mexico to work on the railroads.
And how she's connected to Iowa. It's that sense of knowing and belonging Marlu hopes Latinx and Hispanic Iowans can find.
I wanted to make sure that Iowans, no matter what their background was, knew about how diverse Iowa was. So I was really happy when I was appointed to the Commission of Latino Affairs in 2016.
That work, along with other efforts she was a part of, landed Marlu the ultimate honor last year, being inducted into the Iowa Latino Hall of Fame.
I immediately started crying. I'm 31 years old, and I never thought that I would achieve something like this. It means a lot that the nomination came from my community.
Launched in 2017, more than 30 Iowans now sit in the Latino Hall of Fame housed at the State Historical Building in Des Moines. Marlu is now a selection committee member for an initiative she believes highlights her community's contribution to the state and shows Iowans are diverse.
I think the average Iowan doesn't realize how important immigrants, and particularly Latin American immigrants, how important they are to Iowa. There are school districts and industries that would close down if it weren't for Latin American immigrants.
For here?
Ritual Cafe is a reminder of what's possible because of Latin American immigrants and a symbol of what Iowa is for Denise.
This is like my home, an extension of me. And so when I see people of all colors, especially mi gente, it makes me really happy, very proud.
That proud spirit
I wanted to leave Iowa better than I found it. Yeah.
Is what uplifts Marlu. In Des Moines, Chanu Her.
They have some really good teas here too.
Local 5 News. All right, next month there will be 6 inductees for 2023. I did speak with a man whose work with children and different organizations earned him a spot in this year's class of inductees for the Latino Hall of Fame. So we're going to have that story next week on Good Morning Iowa.